This damn thing's acting up again. Ah, crap. Damn it. Dad! Camera's doing that thing again! Jesus. Hi there. Hey there, Y108 listeners. This is Baran here, wishing you a happy Halloween. I hope you like my little get-up there. Slender Man, or as I like to call myself, Gangley Man, because I'm less scary and terrifying and more lanky and awkward. So if you've been listening to the show, you know that I've been doing my top 5 favorite Halloween movies, and top 5 just really doesn't do it for me. I need a bit more than that, so I want to do some honorable mentions for you here, bringing you this lovely view from the homey feel of my creepy basement. And yeah, so let's talk about a few. Now, spoiler alert, because I'm going to post this before it finishes, but there are no zombie movies on my top 5 list. Zombies have been really oversaturated lately. There's a lot of them, and I'm just kind of fed up with it for the most part, but I still do have a place in my heart for zombie movies. So I wanted to get a few in here with Night of the Living Dead and Day of the Dead. These are two of my favorites. Night of the Living Dead, of course, is the first of the Living Dead series, which Day of the Dead's the third. The second one is Dawn of the Dead. This came out in 1968. It's all black and white, even though they had color back then. And this really created the modern idea of what a zombie movie is, with, you know, the slow moving and the flesh eating, and, you know, they bite you and you get infected. That all started with this movie. It also had a lot of social commentary, and I believe it was the very first movie to ever have a black man in the starring role in 1968. Telling a bunch of white people what to do. So it was actually very, very progressive in that sense, and really holds its place in filmmaking history. It also started the whole thing of the movie's not so much about the creatures. They call them ghouls, not zombies in it, but they're zombies. They're a bit less grotesque than you might be used to now, but there's still a lot of gory stuff in it for 1968. So it's great. You'll get your fill in that case. But yeah, this is really where it began, when people talk about how it's not so much about the creatures, it's about the interaction between the people who are in the movie. A bunch of survivors take refuge in a farmhouse, and then in order to survive, they have to work together. Of course, they can't do that, and it makes things complicated, and I'm not going to spoil it for you because it has a great ending. So check that out if you haven't seen it. After this in the trilogy, you had Day of the Dead, followed by... I don't know if it's my favorite in the trilogy. It's very close to Night of the Living Dead, but Day of the Dead's very underrated as far as I'm concerned. This is terrific. It's a very slow-burning movie. Takes place underground. You got scientists in the military trying to find a cure for the outbreak. But obviously, again, they can't get along, and things kind of go awry. But what really makes this movie great is you got some real campy acting in it, which I love. It's really fun to watch, despite that it's a little slower paced. But this features some of the absolute best practical gore effects that you will ever see. If you're a gorehound like I am, then you got to check this out. It is absolutely gruesome in the best way possible. Tom Savini's doing the special effects again, and this movie was responsible for the reason that through most of my adolescent years, my biggest and completely rational fear in life was that I might get eaten alive by zombies. Like I said, totally rational fear. When the zombie apocalypse comes, I'm not going to sound as crazy as I might right now. But yes, check this out if this really holds its place in the zombie movie history and is absolutely essential as far as I'm concerned. Last but not least, you got some campy movies there. Classic nonetheless, but this one is completely free of camp. This is one of, as far as I'm concerned, the greatest horror movies of all time, by one of the greatest directors of all time, The Shining by Stanley Kubrick. Absolutely incredible. It's a long movie, it's a slow burning movie, but really it can't be beat in my mind. There's so much going on in it. The atmosphere that it creates while you're watching it is really creepy. It's not about big pop-up scares and, you know, something jumps around the corner and the music rises. That's really not in this movie. There's a little bit of shock value, but it's very few and far between. What this is really about is creating a very tense atmosphere, and it is totally worth checking out. Shelley Duvall, Jack Nicholson are absolutely amazing in it. And yeah, there's even this documentary called Room 237, which I highly recommend. It's all about sort of conspiracy theories and analyzing the subtext of this movie to find out what's really going on in the story. There's a lot of, ambiguity in it, a lot of unanswered questions that people really delve into. This movie covers all of it. There's some kind of ridiculous stuff. There's a conspiracy of how Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing based on this movie, which is crazy or not. It's really interesting to watch. And yeah, it's just all around a terrific movie. So check this one out. The only reason it's not on my list of top fives is because I wanted to do top 5 Halloween movies. I don't really associate this with Halloween, but as far as horror movie goes, this is easily within my top 2, I'd say. So definitely check this out. And that's about it. That's all I got for you. So keep listening to the show. We'll have more reviews coming along as the day goes by. And have a happy Halloween from Y108 and myself. Take care.